So we were discussing about slider crank mechanism, and we discussed in our previous class that when the path of wrist pin, that is, let's say this is the crank point and this is the crank pin, this is the crank, and let's say this is the slider, which is connected to this connecting rod. And if this is, let's say this is called wrist pin C. Okay. So if the path of this wrist pin C is in the same line as this crank pin. So when this path of C is in same line with the crank pin O, then we say that it is inline slider crank mechanism. So in an inline slider crank mechanism, this crank rotates from one end to another end in one stroke. You can say this slider or this piston moves from right to left when this crank moves from this position to this position, and this is called return stroke. When the slider again moves from this position to this position, it means that crank is here and it moves down again here. So when the crank moves from this position to this position, then it is called forward stroke. And then this slider moves from this position to this position. Note that the path of C always remains in line with O1, and in this case it is called inline slider crank mechanism. So, and in this inline slider crank mechanism, the time for the forward stroke, it means that when the crank moves from this to this, is equal to time for the return stroke. It means that when the crank moves from this to this. So when this slider moves from left to right, we say it is forward stroke. And when the slider moves from right to left, we say it is backward stroke. So for both, the time remains the same. Okay? Or the angle through which the crank turns in forward stroke is equal to the angle through which the crank turns in return stroke. And we also discussed that the total stroke, it means from extreme left position to extreme right position of the slider, is nothing but twice into crank length. Okay. So this happens with inline slider crank mechanism. There is a slightly different mechanism, which is again a slider crank mechanism, but in this case, the time for the forward stroke and return stroke are not same, and we say it is called offset slider crank mechanism. So in offset slider crank mechanism, if the crank is pivoted here, then the slider will be at different plane. Let's say this is the wrist point C. This is the connecting rod. Let's say this is the crank, and just...
Sir, your video is freezed.
Freezed. Is it fine?
Yes.
Is it working for others?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the connecting rod. This is the crank, and here the slider moves on this plane. So the path of C is here, and this crank pin is here. Both are at different plane, and that is why we say it is offset slider crank mechanism, where the path of this wrist pin C is offset by a distance E from the crank pin O1, okay, or the crank pivoted point O1. So this is one extreme position of slider. Another extreme position of slider will come when the slider is here. And in this case, the connecting rod will be somewhat like this. And this is piston and connecting rods connecting point. So sorry, this is crank and connecting rods connecting point. तो यहाँ पे ये crank है और this is connecting rod. So let's say the length of connecting rod is L. तो ये L है और यहाँ पे let's say the length of connecting crank is R. तो here the total length is L plus R. Okay. From this point to this point, the total length is L plus R. Here, from this point to this point, the total length is L minus R. That is from this point to this point. So the distance between these two extreme positions is called stroke. So when, let's say this is the crank and this crank is moving counterclockwise. So when the crank moves from this position to this position, let's say it turns through an angle beta. So beta is when the crank moves from this position to this position, then this is the return stroke. So it means that the wrist point C moves from this position to this position. And when this crank moves from this position to this position, let's say this crank now moves by an angle alpha, then this slider moves from this position to this position, and it is called forward stroke. When the slider moves from this position to this position, this is called forward stroke. So when this crank moves through an angle alpha, it is a forward stroke. When the crank moves from this position to this position, it is beta, which is called return stroke. So here you can see that for forward stroke, the total angle, it means from this position to this position, alpha is actually greater than beta. So the time taken for this forward stroke is more than the time taken for the return stroke. And this is what makes this kind of mechanism more useful than inline slider crank mechanism, because return stroke is a waste stroke and return stroke does not yields any fruitful thing, है ना. जैसे कि अगर आपका this is the your cutting tool in the shaper, okay, and this is, let's say this is the cutting tool of your shaper machine. So when the shaper goes over a surface from this position to this position, it is useful, it removes the material. But when it comes back, it is not useful because it does not remove any material. So that is why we say that the forward stroke is a useful stroke and return stroke is a waste of time. And therefore we must make the mechanism, or we must strive for making this forward stroke more useful rather than, and minimize this return stroke. And when this happens, then this kind of mechanisms are called quick return mechanisms. Okay. Why it is called quick return mechanism? Because the return stroke takes less time than forward stroke. So this is quick return mechanism, and in this mechanism, the time taken for this cutting tool for the forward stroke is larger than the time taken by this cutting tool to come back to its original position. It means that return. Okay, so return happens quickly than the forward stroke, and that is why this kind of mechanism is called quick return mechanism. Now let's come back to this offset slider crank mechanism. So we actually considered this is L plus R and this is L minus R. So I'm just trying to make the same picture in bit easier way. Just I'm trying to draw the schematics. So this is one extreme position, let's say, and this is another just so this is another extreme position, and this distance is stroke length S, and this was L plus R, and this is L minus R, and this is the time for, or the angle for return stroke, and that is beta, and this angle is alpha, and let's say this is phi 2 and this is an angle phi 1. Okay, and let's also see that this is the offset distance E. Okay, this is the offset distance E. So what is alpha here? Alpha is from this point to this point, that is total cutting stroke or total cutting angle, and this is nothing but 180 degree plus this angle. ये कितना हो जाएगा? This will become, see, this is phi 1, so this is phi 1 minus phi 2. So I can write 180 plus phi 1 minus phi 2. Similarly, बीटा कितना हो जाएगा? So बीटा is this, इसका मतलब है कि 180 minus this angle. Okay, this angle is again the same, this angle, है ना, that is phi 1 minus phi 2. तो इसको लिख सकते हैं 180 minus phi 1 minus phi 2. So, and the ratio of alpha to beta or or you can say there is this term called quick return ratio. And quick return ratio is nothing but it is the time for cutting stroke to time for return stroke. Time for forward stroke to time for return stroke. So this ratio, the quick return ratio, actually defines that how much time it will take for the forward stroke compared to return stroke. And here it may be the ratio of alpha over beta if alpha is cutting stroke or the forward stroke and beta is the return stroke. Also see here what will be the stroke length. In case of inline slider crank mechanism, the stroke length was twice of crank length. So here the stroke length S कितना हो जाएगा? So S is nothing but this one. इसका मतलब है कि from this minus this length. So for in this bigger triangle from here to here, so we can write S is equal to under root L plus R square minus E square. So I'm just trying to get the value of this minus under root, now for this triangle, smaller triangle, L minus R square minus E square. So this is the stroke length. And if we see this triangle, we can also write that this L minus R plus S, it means L minus R plus this S must be greater than L plus R. That is, sum of this arm of this triangle plus this arm must be greater than this arm, no, in this triangle. So here we can also write that L cancel out. So the total stroke length S is actually greater than twice of R, where R is crank length. So remember that in the case of inline slider crank mechanism, S, the stroke length was equal to 2R, that is twice of crank length. But in case of offset slider crank mechanism, the total stroke length S is always greater than twice of crank length R. So this is the advantage of using this offset slider crank mechanism. And that is also the reason that most of the useful machines or cutting machines use this kind of mechanisms. It means offset slider crank mechanism. So there are two most common offset slider crank mechanism which are used in manufacturing machines, in various manufacturing machines, and that is crank and slotted lever quick return mechanism and Whitworth quick return mechanism. So let's discuss one by one. So one is, so we are discussing quick return mechanism, and so this quick return mechanisms, one is crank and slotted lever quick return mechanism. and the other one is Whitworth quick return mechanism. So in this crank and slotted lever quick return mechanism is very commonly used in all these manufacturing machines or other machines where cutting is primary requirement. All the useful forward motion is required. So in this crank and slotted lever quick return mechanisms, there are two pivotal points, that is the crank point and this is the fix point for slotted lever. So a slotted lever may be like this, and this is the crank. This is a slotted lever. So when this crank slotted lever is fixed here, and this is the crank which moves in this slot here. Now, there is a slot in this lever, and that is why this mechanism is called crank and slotted. And when this crank rotates, this lever also rotates, and this position changes from one position to another position. So therefore total stroke is from this position to this position. If the crank turns through this much angle, this slotted lever comes from here to here, and then when it goes back through this angle, so let's say it is this angle is beta and this angle is alpha. So I will just share a video of how this mechanism works.
A slider crank mechanism is used to convert.
Is my screen visible to you all?
Yes.
Okay.
A rotational motion.
So this is
a reciprocating motion, and vice versa. This mechanism is composed of three important parts. The crank, which is a rotating disc.
So this is also very similar to
which slides on a fixed plane.
Crank slider mechanism. So here is the crank, and here is the you can say it is the cutting tool, you know. So
and the connecting rod, which joins the crank and the slider. This mechanism.
Sorry, I just shared a simple slider crank mechanism. There is another video I must share, that is crank and slotted lever. So this is like this. So this one is crank and slotted lever mechanism. Here you can see this is there are two centers. One is this green, you know, and this distance between this point to this. And this, if you can see this red pin, it is crank, you know. The length between this center to this red pin is crank, and this is the pivotal point for this slotted lever. You see, this is the lever which is slotted. You know? So let's see how it works. यहाँ पे आप you can assume this there is a cutting tool at this end. See how fast it is going back, and it is taking time for the forward stroke, but it is taking lesser time for the return stroke, and because it turns lesser angle for this return stroke. So same mechanism is actually used in shaper machines and slaughter machines ना? और इस तरह की बहुत सारी mechanisms है जहाँ पे ये use होता है. If you want to see, you can just visit the fabrication shop. So this is what I'm just trying to draw here on this page, that this is the crank and it rotates. So, and this rotates inside this slot. So this is the slotted lever, this is the crank. So here at this end, you can connect to any cutting tool. And then when this point moves from this point to this point, this cutting tool goes into forward stroke and then comes back to its original stroke, to original point. Okay, so forward stroke, return stroke. Let's say this is it's at so let's say that at extreme positions, this point is, we say this is P1, and let's say this is point A, this is point let's say this is point C. Okay, this center is point C. Let's say this is P2. Then P1 to P2 is actually the stroke length. Nice. The total stroke length through which this tool will travel will be actually the distance between these two extreme points, that is P1 to P2. At these extreme points, this angle is 90 degrees. Okay. So let's say this is point Q. Then total stroke length is P1, P2. That is, if Q is the just middle point, then it is 2P1Q. And what is this P1Q? If we want to determine the total stroke length in terms of the lengths of crank and slotted lever. So because we know, if we know the length of this crank, which is part of this mechanism, and the length of this slotted lever, then we can determine how much will be the stroke. So that is what I'm trying to determine. So stroke length, which is P1 P2 is equal to 2 P1 Q, और इसको लिख सकते हैं 2 A P1 sin of QA P1. ओके, तो P1 Q इसको लिख सकते हैं in terms of this angle, sine of this angle multiplied by this length. So again इसको दोबारा से लिख सकते हैं क्या, that is 2A P1 sin of, ये एंगल क्या हो जाएगा, see this is whole alpha, तो ये alpha by 2 हो जाएगा, this angle will become alpha by 2, तो इसको QA P1 will become sin 90 minus alpha by 2. So this is 90 minus alpha by 2, that is cos alpha by 2. And this is also equal to 2AP1 into CB, that is if this is the B, then this is CB divided by CA. तो सेंटर से दो फिक्स सेंटर्स के बीच की जो डिस्टेंस है वो है CA और क्रैंक लेंथ है CB और AP1 जो है वो है स्लॉटेड लीवर की लेंथ. So if you know all these three parameters, we can determine the total stroke length as so. And then quick return ratio क्या हो जाएगा यहाँ पे? The quick return ratio it will be cutting stroke, which is beta here, and return stroke alpha. Why I'm saying beta is the cutting stroke? Because see, beta is the larger one. So in this quick return mechanism, the larger one is actually forward stroke or cutting stroke, and the lower one is return stroke, that is alpha. So beta by alpha, and beta is nothing but 360 minus alpha. This is also the ratio of time. This is not only the ratio of angles, but this is also the ratio of time. So quick return ratio actually denotes how much time it will take in forward stroke when compared to return stroke. And this is also the angle through which the forward stroke takes place compared to return stroke. Now let's see that. Let's say we want to design a crank and slotted lever quick return mechanism, and such kind of problems are actually very vague in industry or in actual conditions, because in most of the cases what we know is that we want to say that the forward stroke must be of some length. If you go to some industry where they design this kind of mechanism, they will say that we want a stroke length of some, very very vague. Let's say we want 3 inch to 8 inch के बीच में ऐसा स्ट्रोक लेंथ होना चाहिए, है ना. तो हमें एक ऐसा मैकेनिज्म डिजाइन करना है जिसका स्ट्रोक लेंथ शुड बी बिटवीन समवॉट बिटवीन 3 inch to 8 inch, and also the ratio of cutting time to return time is actually twice. Let's say this quick return ratio, I'm just writing Q. So Q is 2. इसका मतलब है कि the beta, if beta is the forward angle, है ना, by alpha is 2, or you can say that बीटा जो है वो अल्फा का दुगना होगा. Okay, beta is equal to 2 alpha, and we know that total angle is 360, which actually means that beta should be 240 and alpha should be 120, है ना. बीटा को यहाँ पे ऐसा भी लिख सकते हैं 360 minus alpha by alpha is 2. So 360 minus alpha is 2 alpha. So alpha becomes 360 by 3, that is 120. So we know that the cutting stroke goes through 240 degrees of angle, and the return stroke goes through 120 degrees of angle. And in this case, we want a cutting stroke somewhat between the length of 3 inch to 8 inch, and we have to design such a mechanism. So when we say we have to design such a mechanism, it simply means that what will be the length of crank, or what should be the length of the distance between two centers, or what should be the length of this slotted lever. So here, in such cases, we have to assume many things. How in order to design such a mechanism, we know that there are two centers. ये क्रैंक सेंटर है और इसको बोलते हैं स्लॉटेड लीवर सेंटर. ओके, तो स्लॉटेड लीवर इन लेट्स से कि ये दो एक्सट्रीम पोजीशंस में कुछ ऐसा है, एंड this is the path of crank. So this is one extreme position and this is another extreme position, and by our previous calculation we know that this angle is 240 and this angle is 120. And what we want is this stroke length. It means that this point P1 to this point P2, this must be somewhere between 3 inch to 8 inch, you know. But because we have to design, let's consider that we are considering P1, P2 as 8 inch. You know, the stroke length is 8 inch. So now what should be the length of crank, and what should be the length of slotted lever, and then what should be the distance between two fixed centers, that is we have to determine. So what we can write by the previous when we discussed this quick return mechanism earlier, we know that let's say this is point O1, this is point O2, the distance between two fixed centers. So O1 to O2, it is not given, and we have to, in this case, we have to start. So we must assume one of the link. So depending upon, I have assumed O1, O2 as 4 inch. You can ask me why I have assumed O1, O2 as 4 inch. तो इसके लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा कि आपको एक्चुअल सिचुएशन देखना पड़ेगा और वहाँ पे देखना पड़ेगा कि एक्चुअली किस लेंथ में आपको मैकेनिज्म एडजस्ट करना है. द होल स्पेस कंस्ट्रेंट इज रिक्वायर्ड टू बी रिव्यूड बिफोर डिजाइनिंग सच ए मैकेनिज्म. If this fixed length is given, it becomes easier for you to design such a mechanism. But if this is not given, we must have to assume this length and then start our designing process. So I have just assumed that the distance between two fixed centers is 4 inch. तो अगर मैं 8 इंच यहाँ पे कंसिडर कर रहा हूँ इन द केस ऑफ मैक्सिमम स्ट्रोक लेंथ, तो क्रैंक लेंथ कितना हो जाएगा? क्रैंक लेंथ हो जाएगा 4 इंटू ये 4 है, तो हम ये क्रैंक लेंथ निकालने का कोशिश कर रहे हैं. सो दिस इज 60 डिग्री, तो ये हो जाएगा 30 डिग्री ना. तो L बिकम्स 4 into sine of 90 minus 60. So 4 into sine 30, it means 2 inch. तो क्रैंक लेंथ हो गई हमारी 2 इंच. तो हमें पता चल गया ये 2 इंच है, ये 4 इंच है, और हमें बस ये स्लॉटेड लीवर की लेंथ निकालनी है. तो स्लॉटेड लीवर तो मतलब O2 P1 ये कितना हो जाएगा? दिस विल बिकम 2 into 4 by this same sorry if you remember this previous relationship, we determined that stroke length is S is equal to 2 multiplied by slotted lever's length, that is I'm just writing LL, that is into the crank length. So I'm writing LC, and then the distance between two centers. So that is L O1 O2, है ना. तो मैं यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा और इसको लिख सकते हैं क्या. So stroke length in this case is 8. ये LL means the slotted lever length, ये निकालना है. Crank length हम लोगों ने just calculate किया, it is 2 inch, and the distance between two centers is 4. तो इसके लिहाज से अगर मैं देखूँ तो cancel out, so LL becomes 8 inch. So in this manner, we can design a crank and slotted lever mechanism on the basis of requirements for stroke length and the quick return ratio. Now let's discuss about the another mechanism, that is Whitworth mechanism. And Whitworth mechanism is a bit complex than simple crank and slotted lever mechanism. So Whitworth quick return mechanism. So Whitworth quick return mechanism is also exhaustively used in various applications. So many people actually use Whitworth quick return mechanism instead of crank and slotted quick return mechanism, for the simple reason that this is more inertial, this is more stable, because it has got more number of parts and it can resist more inertial force, it can give more acceleration. And that is why here also we have got two centers, and in this center this is a lever which is not slotted, in the previous case there was a slotted lever, here this is not slotted, and there are 2 points on this lever. One point remains connected to this fixed point, and this is called crank. Okay. So this is also fixed, this distance is also fixed, this rotates, and when this rotates, this point is remain connected to cutting tool. So when this crank rotates, this cutting tool moves from this point to this point. So I will just show another video where I can. So these, you can find various other pictures. I have just taken these two videos from YouTube. You can also see various other videos which are available uh, for this quick return mechanisms. You must notice that the mechanisms, these mechanisms I'm just discussing, they are all nothing but inversions of 4-bar mechanism. And what I mean by inversions of 4-bar mechanisms, that essentially all these mechanisms consist of 4 links, and we are just changing which link is required to be fixed. So there are some more mechanisms which you should carefully see, which are actually inversions of these 4-bar mechanisms. So I'm just going to share some of these videos. These all videos have been taken from YouTube only. So due credit to the maker, original makers. So this one is what steam engine mechanism, simple है ना. तो यहाँ पे you can see there are 4 links है ना, 1 2 3 and this crank 4. Okay, and this is the extended path. So this is also the kind of mechanism in which the rotary motion is actually converted into reciprocating motion है ना. यहाँ पे देखिए the crank is rotating और ये कन्वर्ट कर रहा है इस एंड पे एक दिस रोटरी मोशन को एक सिंपल स्ट्रेट लाइन रेसिप्रोकेटिंग मोशन में. सो दिस इज व्हाट, इसको व्हाट पेंडुलम भी बोलते हैं और व्हाट स्टीम लाइन मैकेनिज्म भी बोलते हैं. ओके, सॉरी, व्हाट स्टीम इंजन मैकेनिज्म. And this mechanism is called elliptical trammel. Elliptical trammel, it rotates in such a way that any point on this link moves or creates a path of ellipse है ना. तो यहाँ पे देखिए ये जो थर्ड पॉइंट है पिन का, वो एक एलिप्स का पाथ करता है और ये एलिप्स का पाथ सर्कल तब हो जाता है जब ये एकदम जस्ट मिड पॉइंट है ना. तो अगर ये लिंक, इस लिंक का कोई भी मिड पॉइंट आप पकड़ेंगे तो वो सर्कल को क्रिएट करेगा, और अदरवाइज कोई अदर पॉइंट लेंगे तो वो एलिप्स को क्रिएट करेगा. So in this way you can draw a perfect ellipse or perfect circle, or you can create a elliptical path or circular path by constraining this motion, you know. So you have there are some more videos. This is crank and slotted lever mechanism we have just earlier discussed, you know. So these are the two distance and this rotates. Now this is Oldham coupling. So this is also a inversion of 4-bar mechanism. Coupling is a kind of mechanism which is used to connect two shafts. So here you can see there are 4 elements actually. Here also you must notice that these two shafts are parallel to each other, not collinear. So similarly, there are some more mechanisms you should actually search on YouTube that with the terms inversions of 4-bar mechanism, and you can find several other mechanisms. So this is the end of chapter 1, in which we discussed basics of kinematics of machine cores, dynamics of machine cores. Some more mechanism you should definitely look for is how this pendulum mechanism works. इसको pendulum pump बोल सकते हैं. And how oscillating cylinder engine works. This is a kind of assignment for you to just go through. Scotch yoke mechanism. And a usual hand pump mechanism. हैंड पंप में आप देखेंगे तो आपको दिखेगा कि यहाँ पिस्टन की बजाय पिस्टन को फिक्स कर दिया और पूरा सिलेंडर मूव कर रहा है. So that is how there is a change between the other slider crank mechanism and hand pump mechanism. So you must go through all these 4 inversions of 4-bar mechanisms as an assignment. So this is all for